Everybody thinks that, oh, life is sort of getting dull, so we have to spice it up sexually. I think there's a misunderstanding there. What's happening is we're just in the same routine over and over and over, and it's gotten dull. So instead, maybe we need to step back and go, do we actually have goals or a vision for a relationship?
One of the things that can happen, especially in a long-term relationship, my husband and I have been married now for 19 years. Well, in October, it'll be 19 years. And one of the things that I think can happen is we can start taking each other for granted. And one little nuance that I wanted to mention when it comes to men and appreciating and acknowledging them, I've had men share with me, and you can back me up on this, PJ, from your experience of being a man, is how nice it is when they're appreciated, not just for what they do or what they provide or the performative kinds of things, but just that you're glad they're there, that you appreciate them as a person, as a human being. And maybe because I married quite a bit later in life, and I used to joke and say I was going to write this book called Dating for Decades. That was my first book idea. Because I felt like I was dating decade after decade, and I was going to chronicle all of my dating misadventures. But maybe because I married later, I don't tend to take my husband for granted, even after now 19 almost years of marriage. I still love it when he comes home from work. I'm still happy. I'm like, look at that. He shows back up every day. Well, that might sound silly after this much time of being married, but like I can remember, years ago now that no one was showing back up every day. And I would come home from trips and I'd have gone to all these exotic locations and done all these fun things, but there was no one for me to come home and share them with. And there was no one that I came home to who was happy and excited to see me.
Yeah.
Right. So like the fact that every day, this is why I said, there's nothing much sexier than someone that shows up for you day after day. I still don't take that for granted. So even if I'm busy or in the middle of doing something, like even just taking that second or two to acknowledge him with my eyes and my face. And even if I don't say I love you, I'm saying it with my face.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He can see that I'm happy to see him. And that's what my husband has said. Women don't even understand the power of that.
Women have more power than they realize. And it's sometimes as simple as that, right? Just letting us know that you're glad we're there. And I think that it's funny because you said you can back me up on this, and I don't have anything to add other than to back you up on this. Like just knowing that somebody is glad that we're there means that we matter. And while men may not show their emotion, we feel it. It's in there, and that level of appreciation matters to us. So I personally feel really grateful that I heard you say that, because the fact that I'm here with you now says that I matter. The fact that you invited me here says that I matter. So, yeah, I support that.
Well, and your perspective matters to me, because I feel like I can share the things that men have shared with me, but I can't share the experience of having been a man. I've never been one. Right. I don't live inside of the body of a man. I don't have the brain of a man. I find men interesting and fascinating. And like I said, I've been blessed to have really good men in my life, starting with my father, some wonderful brothers and brother-in-laws, and now a wonderful husband. And so I love men. I love men and I admire them and I respect them. And I also love the idea of anything that we can do as human beings to help foster greater and deeper understanding of each other so that we can have better relationships with each other, and which is the whole reason I do the work that I do. And I love this work because like there's always more to learn. There's always more to discover. Like I said, it's like the ultimate classroom when it comes to relationships, right?
Yeah. The world needs really good men in it. And while I would say you're very fortunate to have found one, I would say that he's also very fortunate to have found a good woman and a good partner, because the masculine and the feminine complement each other. They're not opposites attract. They're complements that support and lift each other up. And while one pours into the other receives and then has enough to then pour back into their partner. And I think this is important. Partners move in the same direction, right? They have the same goal, they have the same intention. And if within your relationship, you don't have the same goal or the same intention, maybe it's time for a conversation. So you're collaborating again to make sure that collectively you're moving in the direction that you want to be moving. Because if everything is status quo and it's just sort of, I just sort of feel like we've hit the doldrums. Okay, it's time to juice it up some, and do something different, spice it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be spicy. Like, what if you just simply go, I don't feel like we're going anywhere. Like, what do you want from life? And all of a sudden we're like, oh, I don't know. Let's like have a real conversation. Maybe let's go away for the weekend and just like really like talk about what we want in our future. And it doesn't have to be spiced up like in any kind of sexual way, right? Everybody thinks that, oh, life is sort of getting dull, so we have to spice it up sexually. I think there's a misunderstanding there. It's usually what's happening is we're just in like the same routine over and over and over, and it's gotten dull. So instead, maybe we need to step back and go, do we actually have goals or a vision for a relationship? Like, are there things that you want to experience in life that you haven't done yet that you want to do? Like, where do you want to go? What do you want to visit? What do you want to learn? Like, how do you want the relationship to be? How do you want to communicate? What do you want to do on Sunday mornings, right? When we walk together, do you want us to hold hands? Do you like it when I walk with my arm around you, right? Do you want to sit quietly and drink coffee and watch the sunrise? Like, what works for you? Do you want to go on hikes and we just sit there quietly and don't say anything while we watch the sunrise and the fog dissipate? Like, what works? What are we not doing that we really want to be doing? We get caught in the doldrums. And then we sometimes unknowingly maybe start to pick. And what happens is we pick apart. Instead of saying, hey, I'm kind of bored. Not necessarily bored with you. I feel bored in my life. But I want the relationships. Like, how can we jazz up the experiences that we're having in life? Like, what are some things that you want to do? Let's just get back to it. You know, this comes back to the true, not blue. But we forget this because every Monday through Friday, we get up and we go to work at this time. We come home, we're tired. We eat dinner. The same person probably cooks every night, right? And then over the weekend, we do the same thing. And maybe this isn't, maybe this is for somebody who is just now starting to date. Okay, well, this happens in dating too. Oh, same routine, same routine, same routine. And instead of saying, hey, here's some things that I want to do in my life. What do you want to do in your life? What would you like the relationship to look like? How do we pour into the relationship? How do we make the relationship better? And I think that's critical. I think that's really important that we look at the relationship as a living entity. How do we nurture the relationship? Business people do it. Businesses are considered entities. And that means that they're living, breathing, functioning creatures on their own. And people that work in businesses pour into the company to make the company grow. But we forget to do the same thing in relationships.
Yeah. I love that you brought this up, PJ, because I believe that, well, part of vulnerability or being that real or true is being able to share not just, the hurts or the pains or the fears or the insecurities or things that you might have with someone and know that you're still going to be accepted. But I believe a big part of that intimacy and vulnerability is being able to share your hopes, your dreams, the things that you would love to do, the things that you're excited about. And men have shared with me how valuable that is to them when the woman that they're with is a safe place for them to do that. And then as a couple, as in partnership, you can even begin to explore this during dating, talking about your dreams, your hopes, your vision for your life. This helps us to see if we have common, lifestyle ideas in mind and share common values and what's most important to us. And, if you're a big traveler, is this person going to want to travel with you, and so on and so forth. And I think sometimes in relationships, especially long-term relationships, we need to kind of dust off the dreams, because you are right. You can just kind of get into the routine and the same old, and things can start to feel a little bit stale. It doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship has gone stale, although some people bail out. I think if there was love to begin with, if there was passion to begin with, if you had some of those things in common to begin with, you're very likely to be able to get that kind of revved up and going again.